Hi everyone, my name is Olivia Fleury and I am going to be talking about American Indian Stories by Zitkala-Sa in my essay. I specifically want to focus on the chapter of School Days of an Indian Girl just because I feel like it shows a very clear transition from her childhood and her life on the reservation versus her experience in the boarding school, residential school, after she was taken by the missionaries. My tentative title is going to be The Land of Red Apples, Organized Religion's Fall. I don't know if I should take the organized out of there. So give me some suggestions, but it kind of goes towards my thesis, my working thesis for right now. It's going to be something along the lines of Zitkala-Sa in her American Indian Stories argues that organized Western religion, as she experienced, are beliefs based in fear, organized by punishment, and that expected conformity can result in cultural assimilation and disconnection from true spirituality. I want to set up my body paragraphs to address the different things I mentioned in my thesis. So the first one, I want to talk about her culture before she was assimilated in this school. So I want to talk about what she was losing. I want to talk about the instances of her culture being stripped within that school. So them speaking in tongues that the children did not understand, and them feeling that fear, that association of fear with them speaking their language and only being able to speak English, her hair being chopped off, being taken from her mother, being taken from her way of life, and being forced towards a completely different religion than obviously she grew up with, more spirituality and connection to nature. So then my second paragraph is going to go into that fear and punishment that did take place. So I'm going to talk about them not being allowed to play in the snow, and how there was that miscommunication as Judwin was translating for them and they didn't know very good English. There was that miscommunication, and that led to violent spankings, to her obviously not wanting her hair chopped off because it was a huge part of her culture, and being ripped from under the bed and tied down. So just those instances of why fear was being installed and how it was done through punishment. And then paragraph 3 is going to go more into the religion aspect of that. So I want to talk about how the missionaries took her away, how it kind of ties into, like Jeff said, I really liked that, the allegory of the Garden of Eden, and talk about what she was losing and how you could compare her life on the reservation to the Garden of Eden in maybe a way. And the fall, the temptation that they pulled her away from her life. I really want to talk about the subsection, the devil. I thought that was great. I loved the line, he did not speak to my mother because he did not know the Indian language. I think that that's one of the most thought-provoking lines. I want to unpack that a little bit more, and maybe what she's suggesting about Western religion that she experienced. And then I kind of want to go at the very last, the conclusion. I want to say, okay, so these are the pathologies she's addressing. How is that different from her life? And that's going to go into her being free and one with nature, storytelling, respect, dignity, and a connection to the natural world. They lived life without fear. They were aware of it, but they didn't let it rule over them. And then tie it all back into my thesis. Anyways, I'm going over the time, so thanks guys. Let me know some suggestions of how I can improve.